The Shadow's Embrace. Part 2. Echoes of the Shadowed Abyss. Generations passed, and the once thriving town of Hollow Creek faded into obscurity, becoming a mere footnote in the annals of forgotten history. The legend of the Shadow, however, endured, whispered in tales that transcended time and space, leaving an indelible mark on the collective consciousness of those who dared to remember. In a world that had long forgotten the terrors that once plagued the secluded town, a group of intrepid urban explorers stumbled upon an old journal, its pages weathered and brittle, within the ruins of an abandoned library. The journal, penned by an unknown resident of Hollow Creek, chronicled the relentless malevolence that had consumed the town and the tragic fates of those who had dared to confront the Shadow. Intrigued by the tale, the group set out to uncover the truth behind the legend, their journey taking them deep into the heart of the long-forgotten town. As they traversed the overgrown paths and dilapidated structures, a sense of unease settled over them, as if the shadows themselves were watching their every move, eager to claim new victims. Night fell, shrouding the ruins in an impenetrable darkness that seemed to pulse with a sinister energy. One by one, the members of the group disappeared, swallowed by the same malevolent force that had claimed the souls of Hollow Creek's unfortunate inhabitants. Their desperate screams echoed through the night, a haunting requiem that pierced the silence of the forgotten town. Amidst the chaos and the terror, a lone survivor, a young man named Jacob, found himself face to face with the shadow that had haunted the town for centuries. In that moment of reckoning, he understood the futility of resistance, the inevitability of succumbing to the darkness that enveloped him. With a heavy heart and a sense of resignation, he accepted his fate, allowing the shadow to consume him, body and soul. As the last echoes of his screams faded into the night, Hollow Creek vanished from the world, its existence erased from the collective memory, its remnants swallowed by the unforgiving embrace of the Shadow. The tale of the town and its relentless adversary lived on as a cautionary parable, a stark reminder that some evils were meant to endure and some battles were destined to end in defeat. In the annals of the world, Hollow Creek became a mere whisper, a spectral memory that lingered on the edges of human consciousness, a testament to the enduring power of darkness and the fragility of mortal will. The Shadow, having claimed yet another victory, slumbered once more, its presence fading into the fabric of forgotten nightmares, waiting for the next unwitting soul to cross its path and fall prey to its insidious embrace. Years later, in a world that had long moved on from the forgotten town of Hollow Creek, whispers of the legend found their way to the ears of a bold and skeptical paranormal investigator, Dr. Emily Reed. Driven by a fervent desire to unravel the mysteries of the supernatural, she delved into the archives of obscure folklore, determined to unearth the truth behind the enigmatic shadow that had plagued Hollow Creek. With her trusted team of researchers, she set out on an expedition to the long-lost town, their resolve unyielding in the face of the ominous warnings that had long deterred others. As they trekked through the overgrown wilderness that had once been the thriving town, an oppressive sense of foreboding settled over the group, as if the very air had thickened with the malevolent energy of the Shadow. Night descended, shrouding the ruins in an eerie darkness that seemed to pulsate with a palpable malevolence. Despite their best efforts to fortify themselves against the encroaching fear, the team began to unravel, each member succumbing to their own demons and the relentless pressure of the Shadow's influence. Dr. Reed, however, remained resolute in her pursuit of the truth, her determination unyielding even as the darkness threatened to consume her. As she delved deeper into the heart of the town, deciphering cryptic symbols and unraveling long-forgotten rituals, she uncovered a horrifying revelation that shattered her perception of the world. The Shadow was not merely a malevolent force, it was a conduit for an ancient entity that hungered for human suffering and despair. Its origins traced back to a time long before humanity, a primordial darkness that had slumbered for eons, waiting for the right vessel to unleash its insidious influence upon the mortal realm. In a desperate attempt to confront the Shadow, Dr. Reed performed a ritual that was meant to banish the ancient evil back to the depths from whence it came. Yet, as the incantations echoed through the desolate town, the Shadow surged forth with a newfound ferocity, engulfing Dr. Reed in a maelstrom of darkness and despair. In her final moments, as the shadows closed in around her, she realized the futility of her efforts. The ancient evil could not be contained, its insidious presence transcending the limitations of mortal understanding. With a sense of bitter defeat, she succumbed to the darkness, her soul joining the countless others that had fallen victim to the relentless hunger of the Shadow. As the dawn broke over the ruins of Hollow Creek, a somber silence settled over the remnants of the forgotten town. Dr. Emily Reed's fate, like those before her, became a mere footnote in the eternal struggle between light and darkness, a cautionary tale whispered in hushed tones by those who dared to remember the legacy of Hollow Creek and the shadow that would forever endure. The world beyond Hollow Creek remained oblivious to the events that had unfolded within its forgotten borders. The legend of the shadow, passed down through generations, became an enigmatic tale that inspired both terror and fascination. In obscure circles of paranormal enthusiasts, Hollow Creek became a symbol of the unresolved mysteries that lurked within the shadows of human consciousness. Among those drawn to the legend was a renowned occultist, Professor Samuel Hargrove, who dedicated his life to understanding the boundaries between the corporeal and the ethereal. Intrigued by the stories of the shadow's malevolent presence, he embarked on a solitary pilgrimage to the decaying town, driven by an insatiable thirst for knowledge that bordered on obsession. Armed with ancient grimoires and arcane artifacts, Professor Hargrove delved deep into the heart of the forsaken town, determined to unravel the secrets that had eluded so many before him. In the midst of the dilapidated structures and the encroaching darkness, he uncovered forgotten sigils and long-lost incantations that hinted at the true nature of the shadow's origins. As the moon ascended into the pitch-black sky, casting an eerie glow over the desolate landscape, Professor Hargrove enacted a ritual that was meant to bind the shadow to his will, to wrest its secrets from the darkness, and harness its otherworldly power for his own purposes. Yet, as the incantations reverberated through the night, a sinister laughter filled the air, and the shadow emerged with an intensity that surpassed anything the professor had anticipated. With a chilling realization, Professor Hargrove understood that he had been naively playing a game far beyond his comprehension, attempting to control a force that defied mortal limitations. The shadow, unbound by the feeble constraints of human ambition, surged forth with a ferocity that consumed the professor, body and soul, its hunger insatiable, its power unfathomable. In the aftermath of the professor's ill-fated endeavor, the ruins of Hollow Creek bore witness to yet another grim chapter in its tormented history. The shadows thickened, as if mourning the futility of mortal ambition and the arrogance of those who sought to wield forces beyond their understanding. The legend of Hollow Creek and the shadow that dwelled within became a cautionary tale etched into the annals of the occult, a grim reminder that some mysteries were never meant to be solved and some darknesses were never meant to be challenged. As the remnants of the forsaken town faded into the annals of forgotten history, the shadow endured, an eternal sentinel of despair, forever waiting for the next unsuspecting soul to stumble upon its domain. And in the hearts and minds of those who dared to remember, Hollow Creek became a spectral memory, a testament to the enduring power of the unknown and the inevitable triumph of the darkness that lurked within the shadows.